Let's go to Brandon next in Salt Lake City. Brandon, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Thanks for having me, Ken. Pleasure to be here with you.
Well, I appreciate the call. How's it going?
Well, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah.
I've been kind of on an entrepreneurial path for the past couple of years, and I've got long-term questions and short-term questions. Had we talked a month ago, it would have been the long-term question discussion, but now I'm up against a short-term challenge with all of this Corona craziness going on.
Okay.
So I'm a coach, and in that world, with my self-employment, it's all kind of shut down. So I, for an entrepreneurial venture, moved my family across the country from Florida to Utah to pursue a partnership and some funding that didn't materialize. And so we are trying to get back out to Florida, and I'm trying to get the income up so that I can do that. I have a very seasonal summer income that is looking like it may be shut down, and I'm trying to find a way, aside from just hustling through the gig economy with the Shipt and Instacart and delivery services like that, which I'm doing now, trying to find a way to make enough to get ends to meet. I'd love to find a way to work on the stuff that I know I'm passionate about, but even if I've got to just do deliveries all the time, I just don't know if I can make enough to make that happen, and for renters to be, or landlords to be satisfied for us to rent once we get back out to Florida.
Right.
It's been quite the journey. So
Yeah.
I just was curious what your thoughts were on that,
Yeah.
and if there's something I could do to get me back on my long-term goals and off of the short-term.
Yeah, you can get back up there, but the speed at which you do that may be dictated by this craziness, and you have to acknowledge that. So let's break down because when I hear complexity, you just threw a bunch of complexity at me,
right.
and that's okay. That's why I'm here. But the secret to clarity and complexity is to simplify, right? So we simplify all that complexity. All right.
Okay.
So the ultimate goal is to be doing coaching. What kind of coaching?
So I'm a professional wakeboard coach.
Professional wakeboard coach. That's a premium business, right? People that got a lot of disposable income are the ones hiring you for that, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So good news, bad news. Good news is people that have that kind of income, they're going to come back pretty fast. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you got to be around where those people are. Not sure why a guy who wants to be a professional wakeboarding coach is in Utah, though.
Well, yeah, it's a long story. I'm trying to start a tech business based around this, and there was some partners out here that I was going to be working with. I also have some family out here that we were living with temporarily, which in hindsight maybe wasn't the smartest idea. So we're kind of stuck. We're trying to get out.
Right, but you're still living with them now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing, actually. You need to bite your lip. Let me just go ahead and address whatever tension exists there. You need to get over that real fast. And right now, you're going to need to stay there. That's that was where I was going next. You moving to Florida right now in the midst of this thing is not a priority. It might be in 2 months. It might be in 3 months. But right now, that's not a priority. So you need to change your goals. Not change your goals. You need to reorder your goals. So the move to Florida doesn't need to be top 2 or 3 goals right now. What you need to be doing right now is saving up money, as much money as you can, so that when this thing gets back to some type of semi-normal, you can move to Florida. And you've got the cash to do it. You got the cash in the bank, and you can say, hey, I can, and if they look at you and they go, well, you're not employed right now, you can go, yeah, but I've got 6 months. I can put a 6-month deposit down. There are ways to get around this. And trust me, landlords are going to be really thrilled to see some cash coming out of this deal.
Yeah, we've got about 3 months right now.
Good. So bust it. Right now, your gig economy, you're doing whatever you can in Utah. You're staying with family, so your expenses are low. And this is about short-term, crazy, maniacal focus on just hoarding cash, whether saving it or making some more. That's what you do. Now, when this thing gets back to normal, Because the last I read, the governor of Florida's got checkpoints at the border. So
Yeah.
you going to Florida right now doesn't make any sense. But I just think this is about, hey, family, this is what we're going to do. And this is short term, but we've got a short term plan. And then that allows us to move to Florida. And you move to Florida with the cash. And I wouldn't move until maybe you got a gig set up over there in Florida. And so when we move, we don't have any interruption of income. Plus we got cash. And you go and you make sure you live within 30 to 45-minute drive of a lot of wealthy people near the coast, because that's where you need to be.
No, I travel to my students. They don't come to me.
Oh, well, that's even better.
It's a little different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that.
I'm trying to line up a job out there to have secured before we move. That would be the plan.
Good.
I have no interruption.
Good. So you're in good shape, man. Here's the deal. I think the only thing you need to hear from me is relax on the timeline trying to get to Florida. Let's just shore things up right now.
Okay.
Shore things up. That's what I'm doing in my mind. I had some things, some plans. Stacey and I had some plans. We were thinking through some things. And I'm just going, I'm going to sit tight right now. I'm going to sit tight. Let's see what happens. And I think that's the best thing for you right now. But I don't want you chasing any kind of crazy technology partnership. Let's just build that business. I think going forward for you, my challenge is for you to become the best wakeboard person in 5-6 states, where you become, over the next year to 3 years, your name is dropped all over the place. That's what you ought to be focusing on, because that's what you want to do. And if you got to do gigs while you're doing that, do that. But if I'm like you right now, I think this coronavirus crisis is setting you up beautifully for you to go, hey, I'm going to adjust big time. And I'm going to hold things really, really tight. And I'm going to prepare. And I'm going to do 2 or 3 things. And I'm going to build this thing. And I'm all in on this thing. But that means I'm going to support myself with a day job so that I can fully commit to the dream job. See, that's what I was able to do. When Stacey and I committed together that I was going to chase this radio thing and television thing and this media thing, and I was 31 years of age and I didn't know anybody and I didn't have a degree in it, I had to support Stacey and the kids. We had to come together and go, this is what we're going to do as the day job. And it's going to slow my timeline down to getting to the dream. However, even though it's going to slow my timeline down, it's going to allow me to never lose focus and to fully commit mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically commit. The time. Why? Because I had stability, and so I could stay the course. Now, the flip side is, if you don't have stability, you go, well, Ken, I could give more time to it. Yeah, until you can't pay the bills. Until you're so freaked out about groceries and be able to pay for the car or whatever it is. And now you can't focus at all on the dream. And you have to press pause. And that creates all kinds of distress. Folks, that's what is happening to us right now. Is a existential crisis as press pause on everything. And it is really wreaking havoc. So step out of that for a moment, our current reality, and go, wait a second. If I want to live the dream and be in the dream job, whether it's starting your own business or going after a career, you realize it might take me longer if I operate out of stability, which means I've got a day job and I'm pursuing the dream job. It may take longer, yes, but it will actually almost guarantee you that you're going to get there because you can fully commit. See, I'm not hung up on how fast I get there. I just want to get there. You got to have that mindset.